It's not huge, but holy moly, does it have a lot going on. So many beautiful rocks. That's a nice thing to find on my way out. Hi everybody, it's Kate from KatyDid, and I was lucky enough to be invited to go hunting on a private creek. So they didn't really want me to use my video camera, which I thought was, reasonable. But they did say that I could hunt and I could show you the awesome stuff I have. So here's what I found, and here is what it looks like inside. This banded jasper is so pretty. Just imagine that cut into slices. Isn't that cool? This is an example of agatized petrified wood. It has just this beautiful creamy caramel color. So pretty. That's what the other side looks like. Picked up quite a few jaspers because they have some interesting swirls and patterns on them, and I like them. This one is a bit of a puzzle. I think the closest I can come to identifying it is to say that it's a jaspagate. It has some inclusions and the clear silica that you often see in agates here, but there's also pretty clearly some color in there that is not in the clear silica. So sometimes you see that in jaspagates. It might be worth cutting just to kind of see what pattern is in there. Sometimes jasper agates are just so pretty, and sometimes they're not. Yeah, sometimes they're not really worth cutting anymore. This is another jasper agate, and these are often quite pretty when they're cut. Sometimes they're very boring, but you can usually tell on the outside whether it's going to be good or not. This one was broken on the end, so you can sort of tell that there's something going on there. Speaking of jasper, check this out. It has red, green, and orange all in one stone. Those little red flecks just crack me up. This is really pretty. Here's another pretty chunk of agate. See, it's got some white, I guess that's common opal on the back here. Feels pretty. I learned recently that common opal feels kind of more plasticky instead of glassy, and that's what that feels like. So that's pretty cool. More beautiful petrified wood because I just can't help myself. Ooh, actually this has got some kind of jaspery colors on it as well, so those are really nice. This is a really cool one. As a rock, it's pretty boring. It's just some plain old kind of tan colored chert, but it's actually a core for Native American stone making. So you find these periodically where somebody has a really good rock that they liked and they just kept hacking chunks off of it, and then you'll find, you know, the core that was the original rock. And apparently near this creek is they had an Indian camp that was right there, and so the landowner has found lots of arrowheads and cool things like that. But I got to find this little core, so I thought that was really special. Here's a lovely little agate. Look at how it glows. And the white opalization is just delicate. This one is one of the better agates that I found on my little journey. It has lots of beautiful inclusions. You can see here, it's got some really nice banding. It's broken open so you can see what it looks like. See on the other side, if you look at where it's glowing in the sunshine, you see lots of other inclusions in there. It's got a kind of, looks like maybe a quartz pocket here, so it'll have banding around that. So even though it's not huge, it's a really nice one. This is a cool jasper that I forgot to take pictures of before I cut it, but it has this kind of cool stripy stuff on the outside, so I thought, well, maybe this has something worth looking at. I was right. This piece of petrified wood is just so colorful. I bet it's going to make some nice slabs. This is one of the first ones that I found, and you can see it has these fortifications around it here. It also has some jasper colored type stuff, so it's got a lot going on here. And then if you look at the front of it, looks like those jasper veins run all the way through. It's a pretty rock. Look at that red. Woo! That is a riot of color. And last, but definitely not least, is this beauty. This was completely covered in mud, and funnily enough, it was actually stuck to a piece of petrified wood that they were cemented together with the mud. So I did not find this except for by accident. When I picked up the petrified wood, this came off of it, and I washed it off. And look at this. It has this clear red band through it. Up on top here is the clear chalcedony. On the bottom is another layer of chalcedony. And if you look closely at it, you can see that over here it has some banding, some kind of swirly fortification type stuff. This is just like this incredible piece of rock, and I would not have found it if it hadn't been stuck to something else. I just really like this one. I was so excited when I figured out that it had all this stuff in it. This one is going to be a good cutter. It's not huge, but holy moly, does it have a lot going on. Wasn't that gorgeous? This is Kate from KatyDid. Keep on doing.